Good day, and I'm Lily Zilanda, bringing you the latest international developments from around the world. President Trump spoke to reporters at the White House yesterday and said that both President Putin and President Zelensky want the war to end, following months of Ukrainian drone attacks on Russia, including a recent strike that reportedly killed students. Russia has intensified its military campaign with a series of deadly missile attacks across Ukraine that began last week.
After speaking to you on July 4th, struck Kyiv and killed innocent civilians. Why isn't he feeling any pressure after speaking with you?
Well, I think he does feel pressure. He wants to end it, and Ukraine wants to end it, and we're in talks, and we'll see if we can get it ended. It's a terrible thing. I ended 8 wars, and this was, in my opinion, going to be an easier one because I know both heads. I didn't know most of the heads. I did India, I did Pakistan, I did others. That could have been a real bad one. Nuclear, that was going to be nuclear. It could have been, as the Prime Minister of Pakistan, could have been 40 million people would have been killed, maybe 50 million. They had shot down 11 planes. It was raging for 4 days, and I got it stopped. And I did that, but this is one that I think we're getting much closer than people realize, and President Putin wants it to end. I will tell you that very strongly. What a good call. And President Zelensky actually wants it to end now, and we're going to be going to NATO, and we're going to be talking about it, and I think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get it ended. It's been a terrible situation. Think of this: 25,000 people, 2 months ago, 25,000 people were killed, 1 month soldiers. Last month set the record, 36,000 people were killed in 1 month. Young soldiers, they go off to war and they're dead before the first weekends. It's drone technology. Michael, who would have thought that drones would have become such a factor? And they're killing machines. It's amazing. It's amazing. You hide behind a tree and it goes and gets you. And I've seen scenes that I don't want to see. I don't want you to see on that battlefield. You know, you hear about the Civil War, you hear about all of these different terrible wars, but this is really horrible. So I had a very good call, and I think we're getting close to getting it done.
Addressing the media yesterday, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Presidents Trump and Putin held a telephone conversation that gave Moscow an important opportunity to present its position on the Ukraine conflict directly to the United States.
Президент во время посещения пункта управления объединенной группировки войск поручил проанализировать вовлеченность каждого подстрекателя к продолжению войны на Украине в реальные боевые действия. Дмитрий Сергеевич, расскажите, пожалуйста, кому поручено этим заняться и когда президенту будут представлены первые результаты этой работы?
Разумеется, речь идет о Министерстве обороны и также специальные службы, которые обладают необходимой информацией о том, в какой степени другие стороны вовлечены вот в это подстрекательство.
По итогам разговора Путина и Трампа Ушаков сказал о том, что президент России довел до американского коллеги то, что Киев и его европейские спонсоры делают ставку на затягивание и эскалацию конфликта, а также терроризм против мирного населения. А как на это отреагировал Трамп?
Послушайте, наверное, не с руки нам говорить о реакции Трампа. Вы можете адресовать этот вопрос нашим коллегам в администрации Белого дома. Но, по крайней мере, это была хорошая возможность, что называется, на высшем уровне донести до президента США нашу позицию от первого лица. Вы знаете, у президента Трампа, у президента США достаточно последовательная позиция, и все вот эти измышления о том, что он якобы как флюгер меняет свою точку зрения, конечно же, не соответствуют действительности. Он последователен, убежден в своем понимании происходящем, но главное, он открыт к тому, чтобы слушать от Путина ту информацию, которая до него доводится. Это первое. Второе, да, действительно, и у президента Путина, и у президента Трампа есть понимание, что их контакты будут продолжены в ближайшее время. Мы считаем, что это суверенное право Китая испытывать свои ракеты, заниматься военным строительством. Китай не угрожает никакому государству в регионе.
Fielding questions from reporters on Iran, President Trump said the United States will prevail either way, stating that Iran must sign the proposed agreement or face military action. President Trump has consistently maintained that if Iran refuses to sign the deal, the United States will complete the operation.
Look, oil is now at a level that it was, I think it's even lower on a barrel basis than it was before we started. We've gotten concessions. Now, they have to hold those concessions, but there'll be no nuclear weapon. We're going to be getting the, as I call it, dust, the enriched material, nuclear dust, I call it. Seems to have taken off, but it's enriched material. We're getting it. We're getting it. I went in for one reason, very strongly, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I'm not looking for regime change, although this is regime change. The first regime is gone. The second regime is gone. And I think the third regime is more reasonable, but we'll find out. But we've destroyed their, as you know, completely destroyed 150. They had 159 ships. Every single ship is at the bottom of the sea. We've completely destroyed. They don't have one airplane. They don't have radar. You know, one of the reasons we kept the oil down, because a lot of people said, Kevin, and a lot of people were saying that oil could go to $300, $350 a barrel, but one of the reasons that prediction wasn't right is we were taking out on average of 10, but sometimes less, sometimes more. 3 weeks ago, we had a night, 22 ships came out of the Strait, and the famous Strait of Hormuz, nobody ever heard of, but that is some big money machine, I'll tell you what. When you look at the numbers, Michael, that makes everything look small. No, wait. And we took out so much oil that people didn't know, and it only took a month and a half. They finally found out. They had no radar because their radar was destroyed. So we took them out late at night with no lights, or no nothing, and our great Navy, which did the greatest.
Hamas held a press briefing announcing that it is dissolving its government emergency committee in Gaza and intends to transfer administrative authority to the Palestinian government. It added that its employees will transition into the new administration.
The head of the Government Emergency Committee and the acting head of Government Follow-up Committee, Mr. Mohammed Jawal Abdel Khalek Al-Farah, has decided to submit his official resignation from his position, as well as announcing the dissolution of Government Emergency Committee in demonstration of the seriousness of the measures, in implementation of the agreed arrangements, and to facilitate the administrative transition process. We affirm to our Palestinian people that those who remain working at the government system will continue to provide services to our Palestinian people and will not leave their posts. They are employees of technical and professional levels only. They will stay in their positions to ensure the continuity of offering services to our great Palestinian people, and so that no administrative or technical gap takes place and causes harm to our honorable people. We categorically affirm that all employees working to offer services are state employees, and they are fully ready to work under the responsibility of the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza.
And that's all the breaking news updates from around the world. Be sure to stay connected to any of our Love World networks for ongoing updates from around the world. And right now, we move straight into more updates from around the globe. Let's look at some headlines. Mali government faces new coordinated insurgency attacks. President Al-Sisi inaugurates Egypt's largest defense headquarters. China delivers first batch of aid supplies to Venezuela. President Lukashenko says he is not sending soldiers to fight in Ukraine. The Malian government is facing a new wave of coordinated insurgency attacks across the country. The attacks took place simultaneously over the weekend in several communities. The Malian armed forces, together with their partners from Russia's Africa Corps, have been conducting operations since April, increasing pressure on jihadist groups and regaining territory. Malian authorities have also alleged that Ukraine has been providing strategic intelligence to the insurgents, enabling them to coordinate attacks.
It is important to note that the events of 25th April 2026 cannot be analyzed in isolation. They form part of a pattern of numerous attempts at destabilization and manipulation campaigns faced by the states in the region. It is no longer a secret that there are Ukrainian instructors in Mali, as well as French instructors, because radio intercepts reveal both Ukrainian and French being spoken. They are communicating with one another. Polish has also been heard. We are therefore well aware that military personnel from these countries are present in Mali. They are coordinating their actions and providing training, amongst other things, so this is now an indisputable fact.
Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi on Saturday inaugurated the country's massive Octagon Defense Headquarters, a military complex equipped with advanced command capabilities. It is regarded as the largest military facility of its kind in the Middle East.
Today, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, announced the inauguration of the Strategic Command Headquarters in the new administrative capital, to stand as an edifice for the great people of Egypt, embodying Egypt's role as a force for peace and stability, and a state capable of confronting challenges and achieving aspirations, under the unity of its proud people and its valiant armed forces. This comes to ensure the integration of planning and coordination among all branches and bodies of the armed forces, the enhancement of combat capabilities, and constant readiness to confront challenges effectively and efficiently, using the latest advanced technological systems in a manner that achieves the strategic goals of the state and contributes to securing its assets. May God protect Egypt.
More stories coming up after the short break. Stay with us.
My name is Pastor Star and I'm here to share with you tips and tricks so you can get the most out of your King's Chat. So with the King's Chat latest updates, you can now upload text stories to your status or story updates. All you have to do is go to your timeline and at the top tap add new story, and then what comes up is a pop-up which either allows you to open your camera, take a picture, take a video wherever you are, or upload a text story, or alternatively select from gallery. So that's any pre-existing videos or pictures that you want to upload to your story. I'm going to go ahead and tap text, and then here I can then go ahead and write a message. Your message can be very, very long. The character limit is up into the thousands. So just go ahead and type what it is that you want to say to the world. Then you can go ahead and change your background color. I'm going to change it to pink. And voila, you can then go ahead and upload, and it will appear on your story that you have an updated story update. So that is really exciting, and we look forward to you experiencing and expressing yourself using the story function and the text story function precisely. We also have voice notes coming up in our next update, so do stay tuned and have a great time kinging on King's Chat. Goodbye.
China has delivered its first batch of humanitarian aid supplies to Venezuela following the two devastating earthquakes that claimed more than 3,500 lives and left thousands homeless. According to the latest figures, more than 18,000 people remain displaced, while over 16,740 have been injured. Rescue operations continue, with some survivors still being found beneath the rubble. Venezuelan authorities have expressed gratitude to the Chinese government and its people for their support during this difficult time. Several other countries have also deployed specialized rescue teams equipped with advanced technology to locate those trapped under collapsed buildings. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, while addressing newly appointed military generals, reaffirmed that Belarus will not send troops to fight in the war in Ukraine. He also stated that while the West wants the conflict to continue, Belarus believes a peaceful settlement remains the best solution.
Уважаемые товарищи, в начале июля по традиции мы чествуем выпускников военных учебных заведений и офицеров, которым присвоены генеральские звания. Наше мероприятие органично сочетается с праздничными днями, посвященными Дню независимости Беларуси. И эта связь очень символична. По-настоящему суверенной может быть только та страна, это особенно сейчас, которая имеет сильную, хорошо вооруженную и преданную народу и государству армию, имеющую в своем составе настоящих профессионалов в погонах. Лицемерно декларируя приверженность миру, Европейский Союз открыто взял курс на милитаризацию. Но это фактически НАТО. Миллиарды тратятся на закупку ударно-наступательных вооружений. При этом нагнетается абсурдная истерия вокруг мнимой угрозы с востока. Главный очаг напряженности в регионе – конфликт в Украине. Партия войны всеми силами стремится к затягиванию этого вооруженного противостояния. Международная партия войны. Продолжается гибридная война против нашей страны. Экономический диктат, политический и информационный прессинг дополняются активным шпионажем и провокацией на наших южных рубежах. Кое о чем мы не говорим, помалкиваем. Отдельных западных политиков просто раздражают наша самостоятельность и независимость, наш союз с Россией и приверженность к мирному урегулированию конфликта в Украине. Еще раз подчеркиваю, уважаемые товарищи, никто вас в эту бойню посылать не будет.
Up next is your business news. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to arrive in Australia for a 2-day state visit, where he will be hosted in Melbourne by Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. The visit will centre on the 3rd India-Australia Annual Leaders Summit, with discussions focusing on defence cooperation, critical minerals and trade. President Trump has officially launched the Trump Accounts Initiative, a national savings and investment program for millions of American children. Under the initiative, the federal government will contribute $1,000 towards stock investments for eligible children to help build long-term wealth.
The American dream belongs to every child, and today we are equipping the next generation with the right to claim their rightful share of it. Through Trump accounts, our president is creating an ownership economy where all citizens become shareholders. 38% of American families do not have any exposure to our great equity markets, but with Trump accounts, over time, we can get that number to 0. Already, 6 million American children have signed up, 86% of them with families earning less than $200,000. U.S. Treasury, 1.4 million of those accounts will receive $1,000 from the U.S. Treasury to seed the accounts. When the markets open in just a few minutes, Trump accounts will benefit. So ring the bell, Mr. President. So I will just finish by saying, on the eve on the heels of our 250th anniversary, that this will be one of the president's most enduring legacies, and the great bounty of this will go for generations to come. It is my privilege to invite President Trump to speak after we had two firsts today. First time we've ever had the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. They do a joint opening, and first time we've ever had the opening bell run in the Oval Office. So, Mr. President.
Well, this is very exciting, an amazing achievement. People, we don't know this, Michael, but people have been trying to do this for 30 years, and they were so generous. He put up, and she put up, I think she more than him, maybe. Both very much involved, but Michael and Susan put up $6.25 billion, and I'm sure if I make a phone call, they'll do it again. The job they've done is incredible in life, so we want to thank you very much. Amazing, really amazing. And our friend from Micron, by the way, called me on Friday, and he said Micron's putting in $250 million, and he's done a phenomenal job. And $250 million, and many other companies and people are putting up tremendous amounts of money. And it's something I'm very proud of. Some people think it's going to go down as one of the most important things we've done during the administration. So after a truly historic weekend celebrating the 250th anniversary of America, today we're thrilled to officially launch the Trump accounts. And we had some beautiful people and speeches and tremendous crowds.
Let's take a recap on our headlines for today. Mali government faces new coordinated insurgency attacks. President al-Sisi inaugurates Egypt's largest defense headquarters over the weekend. China has delivered its first batch of aid supplies to Venezuela. President Lukashenko says he is not sending soldiers to fight in Ukraine. And that concludes our news updates for today from around the world. I am Lelihle Zelanda reporting for Love World News. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye for now.